Sarah gave each of her 3 dogs 2 treats. When you hear the word each, typically that's going to tell you to multiply. She has 3 dogs, and each one of them got 2 treats. Just multiply. 6. Okay. 3 times 2. Next question. I'm on a budget. I can only spend $100 this month. If each gallon costs $2.29, how many gallons can I buy? Okay, so this one is using the word each, but it's different this time because you have a limit of 100. And you're trying to see how far that 100 can go. So you're taking that 100 and seeing how many $2.29 gallons of gas can I get. This means I'm going to divide. Divide by $2.29. Okay, I heard 43 point what? Okay, so think about this for a second. It's like 43.6 for the exact answer. I will accept this. If you decide you don't want to see that number, I will accept 43. But what I will not accept is 44. Do you know why I will not accept 44? Can't round up on this one. Why not? Because it won't be enough money. Think about it. If you round up to 44 gallons, she only has $100. That's going to put you over $100. So I will accept for this answer 46.3, or I'll accept just 43. Depending on what you put for this will depend on what you get for number 3.
You said 46.3.
What I said, what?
You said 46.3.
I said that?
Yeah.
When did I say that? Just now?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I'm sorry, because I had 43. Oh, and I wrote 43. Why did I say that? I transposed the numbers, forgive me. Instead of 46.3, I meant to say 43.6. So depending on which one of these you use, depends on what you're going to have for the next answer. Let me say, on the test, I think I did tell you to round. Let me double check, but I'm almost certain I told you to round on the test.
So would it be 43.7?
No, on the test, if you round it, it would have to be just 43. Yep, round to the nearest whole number. How many gallons can I buy? So this would be the preferred because on the test, you're going to have to round to the nearest whole number. This is to the nearest whole number, meaning you cannot go up because it won't be enough. Now, if I use this answer right here, use this answer for question 3, how many miles can I travel if I get 15 miles per 1 gallon? What are you going to do to find this answer? Thank you. Multiply. Take 43, because 43 is how many gallons you can get, and multiply it, because you get 15 miles per gallon. Yep. All right. I'm going to go over number 4, but I'm going to tell you right now it's not on the test, so you don't have to too much worry about it. And I'm going to even make a note, not on test. But I'm going to go over it because I put it on the review. If you walk for a half and jog for 1/4 and then play fetch for the rest, how long are you playing fetch? If I'm asking you this in minutes, you would first have to find what fraction is this of an hour.
30 minutes is half an hour.
Say it again.
30 minutes is half an hour.
It is, but we got to take the 1/2 of the time and add 1/4 to that. Do y'all know what 1/2 and 1/4 is? 1/2 and 1/4. Okay, maybe give you a visual. If I have half of a circle right here, and then I put a 1/4 on there, how much is that? A half is 2/4, and then there's another 1/4. Thank you. So that means this is 3/4. What's left over is only 1/4. So 1/4 of an hour gives me 15 minutes of fetch time. I'm assuming the silence is from the fact that you're not listening since it's not on the test. Am I right?
We just know.
You just don't like fractions.
We just know.
I love you.
I'm just telling the truth.
I want y'all to try number 5 without me telling you the answer.
Yes.
You said yes?
Yep.
Correct. Good job. Will this happen every time you add multiples together? Well, let's see. You know what multiples are, right?
Yeah, like 5.
Yes, like 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. If I were to add these multiples of 5 together, would it still be divisible by 5? Yes, it would. If I add multiples of 2 together, 2, 4, 6, 8, will the number I get be divisible by 2? Yes, this happens every time. Will happen every time. And that's on the test. All right. Next, the highest natural temperature ever recorded is 134 degrees in Death Valley on July 10th, 1913. The lowest temperature ever recorded is negative 80 degrees near Fairbanks, Alaska. What's the difference between these two temperatures? You do subtract, but remember you're subtracting a negative number. So subtracting a negative. Because it's take the first number, the 134, and then we're subtracting the negative 80. Get it? What's that going to give me? Did you say 214? Good job. Yeah, if it's a double negative, that means you're adding. Or, hey, this is another way of looking at it. If you're at negative 80, you have to come up 80 degrees just to get to 0. But then you have to go up 134 more degrees. Get it? If I have to go up 80, and then I have to go up 134 more, I'm adding, and that's going to be a total combined. I don't know if that makes sense or not. Next one's easier. Charlotte, North Carolina has an elevation of 761 feet above sea level. Boone, North Carolina has an elevation of 3,333 feet above sea level. What's the difference between these two cities' elevation? You know the operation, don't you? It says difference. You know what you're going to do? Subtract. Thank you.
Negative 2,572.
Yep, that's right. This one's kind of similar to number 6. Kind of. Ocean water freezes at negative 2.5 degrees Celsius. Fresh water freezes at 0 degrees. Antifreeze, which is a liquid used to cool most car engine, freezes at negative 64 degrees. Imagine that the temperature is exactly at the freezing point for ocean water. How many degrees must the temperature drop for the antifreeze to turn to ice? So imagine that we are at the freezing point for ocean water. What's the freezing point for ocean water, y'all? Good. If I want to drop to 64, well, to negative 64, think about that. If I want to drop to a negative 64, what's that answer going to be? How do you get negative 61.5? If you have a double negative here, that means you got a positive 64.
61.
There you go. It's 61.5. So it has to drop that many degrees from an already negative number, okay? If you're at a negative number, but you're dropping to another negative, that's a double negative. it requires one token to play 12 minutes of a video game. If you have 8 tokens, can you play for at least an hour?
Yes.
Yes, good job. How do you know?
Do 12 times 8, you get 96 minutes.
Love you. 12 times 8 is 96 minutes. And we're only asked to find, can you play for an hour? How many minutes are an hour?
60.
There you go, because it's only 60 minutes an hour. In an hour. You don't have to write all this. I'm just explaining it. That way, if you go back and look at the answer and you don't know how I got guessed, this is how. 12 times 8 gives me 96 minutes, but only 60 minutes are in an hour, so the answer is yes, you have enough. Okay, I love number 10 for A, B, and C, because on the test, I'm giving you the answer. You have to give me the steps. So this is not a problem where I want to know what's the answer. I want to know, do you know the method to get to the answer using order of operations? So for 10A, the answer is 54. Let me zoom in. The answer is 54. I'm telling you that, and I'm going to come over here and put 54. There's my answer. I need you to know how to get there based on the order of operations. What are you going to do first? When you say parentheses, what do you mean? Multiply these two. What will I get if I multiply these two? All right, so come over here so this won't be messy. I'm going to write 2 times 5 plus 21 plus 1. Now what do I have to do? Thank you. Add these. This plus this plus this. What do you get when you add them?
27.
You said what? 27, good. So when I add these, oh good, yeah, 27. And what's my last step? Multiply, and that's how I got 54. The steps in the middle are what you're gonna have to know how to do. So you have to know how to do this, meaning tell me the order on the test. I'm gonna give you the answer. Just like I'm gonna give you the answer to the next one. The next one answer is 96. How do I get there?
Parentheses.
All right, be more specific. What am I gonna do first? Okay, wait a minute. I heard somebody say multiply. Nope. Add this
Add 3.
and add that. Okay, well, I'm not gonna distribute first. Let me tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna add these two together, but since everything is touching, that means I'm gonna have 2 parentheses, and then what you have here was 12 times 4. You know why I have 12 times 4? Because they're all touching. It's parentheses, yes. Look at this here. 5 plus 7 is 12. 3 plus 1 is 4. If they're touching, that means they're being multiplied by each other. So that's why I have 12 times 4 in the parentheses. From here, what do I do?
2 times 12.
2 times 12? How about I do 2 times 48? Because I need to do that first so that I can get to 96. Yeah, because these are being multiplied. The only way I could distribute is if that was a plus sign. So I think I know what you were thinking. You were thinking like 12 plus 4, but since this is 12 times 4, you have to multiply with 4, you can't distribute. And the last one, the answer is 66. Let's see if we can get there now. What are you gonna do first?
3 plus 1.
There we go. We know 3 plus 1 is 4. Now try not to skip steps because on the test, I have boxes where you have to go through every step. So even if you can jump to the final answer, I need you to be able to fill in the blanks. So the next step of what I'm going to fill in is going to be 2 parentheses, and then I need to keep the 5. I need to keep the plus and the 7. The only thing I'm changing is I am making this times 4 now, because when I take care of 3 plus 1, I get 4. You got that? 3 plus 1 is 4. But since it's touching the 7, I gotta multiply them.
28 plus 5 plus 28.
Thank you. I'm gonna do this next, which is gonna give me 28. But remember that this is in the parentheses with the 5 anyway. And it's a plus sign in between. So I have to add those before I can multiply. Or you could actually, on this one, you could actually distribute. But the way I have it set up on the test, you're gonna have to add it because the boxes are gonna kind of push you towards having to add it because this is now 2 times 33, which gives me 66. That was a little bit longer of a process. You must know these steps. Write this down. You must know these steps. That's what I have on the answer key. And yes, I'm posting the answer key, but not anytime soon. Probably might be not till next week for your class. And I might just send it online, not even put it on campus. And make you sign up for mine too. All right, so here, number 11. Most people miss this. I keep telling myself to change the format on the test because on the test it's at the top and people skip it because they don't see it. But every year somebody does. But look, there is a number 11, okay? And you need to simplify it to a smaller expression. What do you do first in simplifying this?
2 times.
Thank you. This is the part here, and I don't want you to forget, this is an understood 1 right here. So you do have to distribute that negative 1 to the 2 in the second set of parentheses.
Plus 5.
All right, let's get the final. Let's get the x's together, and it's 4 minus 3. 4 minus 3 is 1x. And then negative 2 plus 1, negative 1y. There's nothing to put with the 5. Y'all, on my final answer key, you know I'm not going to put those 1s. I can't stand them. But if you put it, I won't mark it off. I promise I won't. I just don't like to see them in my answer. Because that's the same as this. Now the next one has some typos. Well, I don't know if I said typo as much as this. I just didn't have 2 of them there, so. We're going to mark off the box for N because it's the same thing as H. I didn't even do that, but see the box for N, it's the exact same thing as H. And so that way you don't have to have 2 ones that has the same answer. You're not going to have a box for N. You understand? Because N and H say the exact same thing. That was my bad on that. Next year I'll put the one from the pop up in that space. I don't know, but anyway, area model and then expression. Area model and then the words. So if it's N plus 8 divided by 2, just look over here. See what do we see that could possibly be that? Did somebody say A?
Yeah, 2 people don't say
Good, that's right. Because here it is. This is N plus 8, and it's being divided by 2, so good job. And now in words, yep, exact same thing. 2 times N plus 16. You fast. We're very fast. I didn't get a chance to look at that. 2 times N plus 16. I see what you had to do on this. Y'all see that you have to first multiply. See, this would be 2N. 8 times 2 is 16. So it didn't, technically, it didn't give you the answer straight out. You had to multiply. Do you see what she's saying? Because if you don't multiply, then you won't know that those are the exact same thing. They are, so this one is M. And then the words, you got it, L. It says add into 4, multiply by 2. Yep, it's in. Correct. Because this one says add into 4 and then multiply by 2, which is the same thing as saying 2n plus 8. And if you distribute this is 2n plus 8. So they're the exact same thing. And which one is the box for what it says? P. Oh, fast. Okay, the next one. I heard S. Yep, that's right. Yep. Because this is the same thing as 9n squared, and that's what this one says. This says 9n squared. So I'm putting S and in words. You see, you said V, let me double check. Yep, that's right. All right, so this one, no, see, this is what I'm gonna take. Number 5 and number 9, I don't know if you noticed this or not, but those are the exact same thing. So what you get for your answer is going to be the exact same thing. So number 5 is I. And if you're wondering how you get this, look at the blocks here. This is like a Punnett square. N plus 5, N plus 5. That means I'm gonna get N squared, 5N, 5N again, and then 25. This is N squared plus 10N plus 25. So this is the same thing that Carla just said. Number 5 says N squared plus 10N plus 25. So let's see, which one says that? In words, which one says that? Oh, this one's gonna be hard. Look at this one right here. This one says add 5 to N and then square the answer. That's what goes with this. Add 5 to N and then square the answer. That's the same thing. Okay, this one says square your N and then multiply by 3. Yep, you got it. It is C. And then the word is Q. Good job. 2N plus 8. 4N plus 8. 2N plus 8. You're right. The letter R for the word is correct. You put that here. Pay attention. I put the R in that column. Because that does say that multiply N by 2 and add 8. But then which one of the models would this be?
Is it E?
I feel like it should be E.
Yeah, it is E.
Yeah, it is. It's the exact same thing. So this is where I told you that 2 answers were going to be the same. It's the exact same thing because it's E on the top one as well. Wow, I just noticed that. This one, they say the same thing. So that's why it's going to be both for both of those.
Is the model for AO?
It sure is. Good job on that one. And if you don't know how she got O, then you could just multiply and put the answers in the boxes. Because this says N divided by 2. This says 16 divided by 2, which is 8. So if you write that out, it matches exactly what this here says. What I wrote for O matches exactly right here. So that one goes with that, but then let's see, the wording for it would be, here it is, because it says divide n by 2, then add 8, so that is K. Okay, so we've just seen this one already. It should look familiar. It is. Because look, this is the same thing as this right here. These are the exact same thing. This means n plus 5 squared as well. And if I multiply this out, it would give me n squared plus 10n plus 25 because we did it over there with the box. So it's got to be the exact same thing, I and h. H. Yes, very nice. D and T. Let you pause on that for D and T. D. Make sure it's the same thing. Not that I don't trust you, just want to make sure it's the same thing. And 4 plus 2. Yeah, that's right. Because this one says n over 4 and 8 divided by 4 is 2. So yes. And the next one, n squared plus 5. Where is it at? Oh, here it is. This is n squared. This is 5. So that's F. And we said the letter for the words was J squared n F. And if you're marking them off as you go, I think you know what the last one's going to be. U and G. I love this next section. When I was going over this part with my last class, they were like, "Wait, so this looks familiar. Didn't we do a project on this?" Yes, we did. We did. Yes.
What's your study on?
It is. I have an extra copy. You want it?
Yeah. Do you have it electronically?
It's on campus.
Okay.
All right, it's on Canvas, you said?
Yes.
Oh, why did they come in from
Go to today's link. I just put it on today's link.
Okay, thank you.
So interpreting expressions. For this part, when I say numerical, that means give me some numbers here. So numerical means you're going to pick a number. Algebraic means we're going to be talking about variables. And when you go through picking a number, this column right here, answers may vary. Answers may vary in this column here because everyone may pick a different number. So this column, you understand what I'm saying? You ain't got to have the same answer as I do. Now, the next one is got to be the same, but this one is not going to matter. And I'll show you, for example. Let me get 3 different people to tell me a number. 5, what else? 4 and 2. Oh no, I heard 6. I want to do 5, 2, and 6. And I'm doing them separately to show you how they're all going to work out the same. Because the rule on the side says choose a number and then double it. If I double 5, I get 10. If I double 2, I get 4. If I double this, I get 12. Add 6 to it. That gives me 16, 10, 18. I'm just picking 3 different numbers. If I divide by 2, if I subtract the original number, meaning I'm going to subtract 5 from this one, I'm going to subtract 2 from this one, and I'm going to subtract 6 from this one. I'm going to get the same thing no matter what number I pick, okay? So that's why I pick different numbers. It does not matter. But the next column does matter. Everyone's has to be the same on this one because when you use a variable expression, you're telling me exactly what the words mean. The first one, what would you write for choose a number? What's the variable for that? Just n or x. Just pick any variable you want. But then it says double it. 2x, 2n, whatever variable you use, multiply it by 2, okay? Now it says add 6. Thank you. 2x plus 6. Okay. This is where I might lose some people.
Just put it. Just put it.
2x plus 6 divided by 2.
Okay, I like when you say divided by 2. What I need you to show me is what you're going to get. So if you say divided by 2, that's fine. But what you're going to get is what I want you to write in the next box. Thank you. X plus 3. If you divide by 2, it's okay to put 2 underneath it. But I need to see x plus 3.
In that same box?
No, just in the box right here where it says, in the box where it says divide by 2, give me what it looks like when you divide by 2. And subtracting the original number, that means I can just say minus x right here. I'm going to be left with 3. Yeah. One little section here. We're almost there. I might take a break after this because y'all are actually working. Because we're over there. Don't say that. Whoever said it's true.
I like to hear either.
There you go. So, state whether they're equivalent. So it's asking, is this equivalent to this? So that means it's a yes or a no, but then tell me how you know.
It's no.
If you say no, explain it.
It's what
I think it is.
Is it yes?
I think
What is?
because you substitute the answers with, you substitute the variable with the same, with a number, so you get the answer.
That's actually the way of explaining it. He said if you just substitute, like for example, if I just picked a number for A and then picked the number for B, and if I substitute them, I'm gonna get the same thing. He's actually right. I was just thinking something along the lines of just rewrite it without the parentheses. Because if you rewrite it without the parentheses, that means this one right here, that one's just gonna be A plus 3 minus B. If I take away the parentheses here, I'm gonna get the same thing. A plus 3 minus B.
I was saying like, it's already one
Okay, you're right. So if you have a 1 here and you distribute it, the parentheses are gone and it's the exact same thing. You're right. I like what he said on number 14 because that kind of follows right into number 15. When he said pick a number, I meant to say. When he said pick a number for that and substitute it, that's exactly how I would tell you to do 15. So tell me, is 15 going to be yes or no?
It'll be, for that one,
No, because you have to cancel out the 5. When you multiply.
Do you remember what I said? What he said, if you make up a number for K, and if you put it here
2 plus,
and put it here,
yeah,
are you going to get the same thing?
no,
No. That's the best way to explain it right there. If those two numbers for the K were the exact same, this would be 2 1/5. This will be 11. So this is a no. And I'm just going to say you could substitute values. Substitute. Same value for K. Substitute same value for K. You say no? Most people say yes.
Yes.
No.
It's no.
No.
So if you got the square, it's like you put it to, open quadratic. Not quadratic. Well, it's gonna be like a squared
Negative.
plus something.
One minus.
You basically multiply a minus b.
2 times.
Yes. Who said 2 times? Both of you two. You said 4. You said do it 2 times. Both of y'all. You have to say a minus b.
Yeah, I couldn't.
I know what you're saying, minus b.
Follow it, that's what it is.
You two were like picking up off each other because if you have a minus b squared like that, you have to expand it. When you expand it, you are not, I repeat, not going to get this here. You're not. Because remember, FOIL means I'm gonna get a squared. This one's gonna give me a negative ab.
Right.
This one's gonna give me a negative ab as well. But this one's gonna give me a positive b squared. How do you know? No. Because it equals a squared minus 2ab plus b squared. If you say no and show me the work, that's sufficient. So on the test, if you say no and then just show me what work, that's sufficient. If not, tell me, like explain it in words, okay? Did you really just say that? Oh my gosh. Let's see. We got kind of far. We're still not done with algebraic expressions, but yeah, we'll take a break right here. It's not cold, it's on your mind.